men can sleep with just anybody.
Most men,
exactly. Most men, in the sense of, that's why I used to say something funny enough. I tell you, some women, it's not as if they really like you. If they cut off your head,
they will still do,
and that body is still there, they will still do.
And the body is
it's not really about you. So that's why when you see, guys are asking me out. Sometimes, chasing is of two different ways. So when you see a lion chasing an antelope, it's not really that the lion likes the antelope.
It's devourer.
So, but you have to be able to differentiate between chasing. There are some chasing that there are chasing that is based on I like you. That's why I'm chasing you. There are some chasing that they want to devour you. So you have to differentiate. And I think a lot of ladies don't know how to differentiate it. They classify chasing. Am I right? They classify chasing altogether. Sometimes you are being chased not because you are precious. It's because you carry some things that are...
Because the devourer have seen you.
And it's the other way around. Some ladies chase men and the guys feel I'm special. Bro, you know special. I'm money where you get. Right.
Welcome to another edition of the Convo Movie Review, brought to you by Faith Africa. And before I introduce myself or anyone, I just want to tell all our viewers, fans, subscribers, you are the real MVP. So you know what? To help us, to support us more, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you know what? You will get more juicy movie review like the way we do it, and even better. And if you want to support us in different form, you can contact us on our description where you see our email. That is it there. You will see it down there. Don't just check on the description. You will see it there. I am your main man, coming the man of the people. And with me, I have two amazing people that will put everything step by step, philosophical, lovey, beauty davy, any form you want to like, you like, we are going to give you, they are going to give you. But before I start, I will start with the lady, the mama of the house, the beauty, epitome of beauty, wisdom. If you are looking for a perfect woman in the house or at work, Amaka on point is always one. So Amaka, how are you doing?
Hi. I'm really excited to be here. I can't even wait to dive into today's episode. Yes.
So with me, I still have the philosophical man, spiritual, international, the man where everybody sabi. We all know that when it comes to giving you words after words, this man is awesome with that. And that is the amazing philosophical Segun, how are you doing?
Great to be here. Looking forward to the episode. Always a nice time to be in the studio.
So this episode we'll be reviewing the movie called Duplicity by Perry. It's on Prime Video. I think that movie should be number 1 to 5, top 5 on Prime Video right now. So if you have not seen it, please try your best to get a copy. But before you see that movie, just listen to us so that you can see how the movie, don't just entertain yourself alone, but how the movie will lead you to different aspects of your life and how you can become better and not be naive. So ladies first, what do you think about the movie?
The movie, you actually think you know people though, and you get to realize in the long run that you really do not even know jack about them. The movie is dark in the sense that you see how greedy and how manipulative a person can be.
Yes, sir.
And it is just terrible. Very, very
terrible and sad. And in betrayal in every form. It's terrible and sad. Segun, what do you think about the movie?
Very good movie. And that good work from Perry.
Yeah, so
I think I like the movies we are analyzing recently because there are some movies that are just all fantasy. Whereas there are some movies that they tell you the reality of life. There's fantasy, but there's also reality. Yeah. And I feel this movie was one of those kind of movies in terms of you know the nature of human beings, the dark nature of human beings. Yeah. I think in that movie we had a show of loyalty. We also had a show of betrayal.
Yes,
So I think it was a complete movie and it's something that we're looking forward to analyze.
And this is the first movie we are going to be analyzing or reviewing that we have almost everything in life. Politics, betrayal, greed, marriage, relationship, everything. So, first question, Shegun, and both of you. First question. This marriage thing, the way we are seeing marriage nowadays, is marriage now a convenient thing that, okay, I'm marrying this person because I want to be better or I want to make more money? Should marriage be transactional? Like, I am giving you this, you have to give me this back. Or should marriage be all about love? Amaka?
From my point of view, I'm a love person. Like, I'm a lover girl. So the lover girl in me will tell you that marriage should be about love. But in the real fact, we know that a lot of things in life are transactional in nature. So you have to do this to get this in return.
Do this to get this. Amaka, do this to get this. Okay. Shaka, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Amaka is right in the sense of that.
No, today, please don't put me in the middle.
Okay. In the sense of love, love being the foundation for marriages is a fairly new thing. In the sense of, for most part of history, marriage wasn't about love. It was purely transactional. It was based on strategic dependencies. Or you understand? So in terms of a family has maybe a particular empire and they want to strengthen or improve their empire. So they look for another family that's also strong and they have that strategic alliance with them. So marriage was basically, for most part of history, alliances, building, it was even in another part of history was used for peacemaking. Treaties. So, but it's just that this is our own generation or fairly new experience of certain generations before us. That's when we started having the love being the foundation of it. But also we can see that, it's a very shaky foundation. The love that we tend to say, oh, I love you, you love me, is a fairly shaky foundation.
How is that shaky?
And that's why we are saying, because the reality is, for most of those love is the most complicated word in our society. In terms of, you can't really understand. When someone say I love you, you don't really understand what they are trying to say. For some people, when they say I love you, they don't love you. They love what you can give them. They love the lifestyle you can create for them. So that's why we see that in our society today, marriage is still transactional, but it's just that what we are transacting is different.
What are we transacting?
So in this our society today, the major transaction for a lot of marriages is money and sex. Yeah. So some people are not going to...
That's actually very deep.
Yeah, I think that's the truth. In the sense of, some people are getting married and the only thing, some men are getting married and the only thing that they don't have, that they will get in marriage, for most people that are saying they don't want to have anything outside marriage, is sex. And a lot of ladies are getting married because there's financial security. So, which is a very, very terrible stuff. So I think...
So should marriage be all about sex and financial security? What about a lady that, like this, in that same movie, this lady was well-to-do, doing fine, a wonderful lawyer, good at her work. She needed something else. And sometimes should it be about what I want? What about service? Helping each other to grow. What about that? That nowadays we now see people telling me, I love this man. Like, let me give you an example real quick. A certain lady entered into a volleyball team.
Okay.
And the man is very old. I guess the man should be in politics right now.
Yeah.
And the lady was about maybe 18, 19 years old when she got married. And the man already had 5 wives, including maybe 6 or 7. Do you think most of the time it has to be what you want to give? What about I want to build the next generation, Amaka?
So before that, I would like to say that most people get married to flee from poverty, especially females. Because basically it's the females that like to go for men that are wealthy. So in that case, the example you cited, if the man was not wealthy, we know, but in our minds, in our soul, that she's never going to get married to him.
Exactly.
So in any way we are going to put it, it has always been that marriage is about transaction, and it's just how it's going to be. Everybody is going into this thing for what they can
What
get,
they can
their
get.
own gain.
That's
If you are
true.
going into even if you are going into the marriage because you love the person, it's also what you can gain because you're also going there because I feel for this person.
Yes, so.
So it still boils down to that. Without
That's
that,
true. That's true.
Yeah, so
That's
I
true.
think to add to what Amaka said, I think that's why we are beginning to have a lot of marriages that are not doing so well,
Mm.
yes,
or because the foundation
shaky.
is shaky. And that's why I used to say that the most important question to ask somebody that wants to get married is, why do you want to get married?
Mhm.
Why? And when you ask them, why do you want to get married? You answering and saying, I want to get married to give birth. That giving birth or having children is not the reason for marriage. Hope you know that.
But,
It's not the reason.
But in the Bible,
No, it's not the reason.
it should
Giving birth,
multiply.
giving birth is a product. It's a natural product
Okay.
of
Marriage.
marriage.
Okay.
Because you can actually give birth without marriage.
Mm.
Yes.
So
yes.
so you can give birth without marriage. You can be, if it's loneliness, you can be satisfied with another person's company without even getting married. So
Yes.
there is one of the things we have not successfully solved. The churches, our society have not successfully solved in our society today, is that we don't know why marriage exists.
Mm.
And that's why people are going into marriage with blind eyes. We don't really know why this thing exists. And it's a popular phrase that says, if the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable.
Inevitable, yeah.
And truly, what we are seeing in our society today is the abuse of that wonderful institution called marriage.
No,
And
no.
that's why they always tell you that love is never enough.
Love is never enough, because marriage was not just designed to survive based on only love. You understand? And there's a popular quote that just came to my mind from Friedrich Nietzsche that says that he that has a why can overcome anyhow.
Anyhow.
You need to have a why. Most people, the reality for most marriages, what is still keeping them together is money.
Yes.
The day the money dries from the man's hand like this, it scatters.
Ha.
Or the day
Really?
the woman begins to make her own money, she feels there's no need for it. For some marriages, also for the man aspect, if the woman doesn't give him what he wants in the bedroom, he will look for another side chick. So we need to, as a society, sit down together and try to find out, why did God create marriage?
Marriage.
Why does marriage exist?
Why does marriage? But really, this Africa of the thing, we notice that in that same movie, we notice the lady can end up divorcing that man, the other lady, really. We don't want to do any spoiler alarms this time. The other lady can actually divorce this guy and still get something. Why should it be that every marriage in this current generation always leads to divorce? Because in those days, you see people staying together and tell you, we have been married for 50 years, 60 years. And like, you see people, we have seen celebrity marriage in this Nigeria that is just 6 months, 3 months. Why is it that any little small marriage issue, and both are rich, both are doing fine, they are perfect for each other physically, but yet they're still divorced? So, Amaka, what do you think?
This still boils down to what Segun said earlier on when he said you should know the why. If you know the why you are going into that, you would put in the efforts as to cover. Because most times you see people that are divorced and you ask them, why did you guys not work together? Sometimes the excuses are so flimsy. There's something that can actually be worked upon. But because they don't know the why they are going into that, that is why it's led to divorce.
Chago, what do you think?
Yeah. I think the excuses are definitely very flimsy because, and the reason why we had, one of these funny things about marriage is that the success of a marriage is not dependent on the longevity. In terms of some marriages that stayed for 50 years were living hells. I think it was a video we listened to yesterday of a man that told us how the first 14 years of his marriage was. And I said, this is not the way it's meant to be. It was for him like that, but it's not the way it's meant to be.
That should not be the standard.
That should not be the standard. So, but the reality is, in those generations, what they got right was that they understood that marriage is not all about them. They also understood the fact that the most important party or the most important person in a marriage is the children, not the husband, not the wife. So that's why most of them will say, because of my children, I stayed. But in today's generation, the most important person that people think in marriage is themselves. If I'm not happy, I have to leave. It doesn't matter. You see people will tell you, it's not going to affect your children. It's going to affect your children. You know it. But because you are selfish, because you are the one that made the choice.
Yeah.
I know it might sound very harsh, but you are the one that made the choice to marry this person. You are the one that made the choice to have children with this person.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that your children's welfare is very, very important. More than even your own welfare in marriage. More than even your welfare. But people just feel, if me, I'm not happy, I have the right to just dissolve it. You know, and I don't care if my children have, because I used to say this, that a wife can get another husband. She can divorce her current husband and get another husband. The husband can divorce his current wife and get another wife, but the children cannot get another parent. You are still their parents. Once you are divided, the parents are divided. So I think we need to marriage. One of the first things, this is the last thing I'll say, one of the first things we need to tackle in marriage, one of the first things we need to have in marriage is that we need to be selfless. Selfishness is the first thing that kills marriages.
That's true.
And a lot of people that get divorced, I know there are other instances where there's domestic violence and the likes, but I'm talking about the normal ones that have flimsy excuses. Some of them is just based on selfishness.
I'm talking about happiness, Amaka. You have to be happy in marriage. When you are married to someone, there should be a sense of happiness, and at least, if not 100%, maybe 60 to 70% of happiness. When you said I'm not happy, if somebody is not happy with the person that is not happy in that marriage, be a good parent to a child. That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, you know, can I?
You're free.
I think this one might sound very, very controversial, but this is my own belief. I believe that one of the things you get in marriage, happiness is not a commodity you get in marriage.
Okay.
Happiness is a commodity you bring into marriage. Happy people make happy marriages. So it's not marriage make people happy.
Sad people make sad marriages.
Sad people make sad marriages. The thing that you get in marriage is peace of mind. Peace of mind is the major commodity. Peace of mind, unity, you know. Fulfillment. That's what you get in marriage.
The one you people are
but
doing like this.
The foundation thing you bring there is happiness. So you need to be a happy person before you get to marriage. That's why I said, if you are married because you are not happy, you think marriage will make you happy, you are wasting your time. Because you will not. But if you're happy, you are a happy person on your own, when you get into marriage, that happiness will be translated to the commodity called peace of mind. And when there's peace of mind, what are you looking for again?
Okay, Amaka, happiness. Or you are supporting Shegun again?
Happiness. My own belief is that if somebody is not happy in marriage, the person should check well. Check within. Because as he said, happiness is something that comes from within. So you have to check within. And if it's something that can be discussed, you also discuss it with your partner. I don't think I'm happy. Okay, then you guys will trace what went wrong, what led to what, and understanding also.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah. Okay, now let's now go to in that same movie we saw infidelity. Now let's talk about infidelity for a while, because
we've been seeing infidelity in movies these days.
Okay, Shaggy, you want to jump on it before?
And I want to say something. We said a lot of things about the last movie in terms of infidelity. That's why I don't like romantic movies as a person. So because since when romantic movies came into play at the advent of romanticism. There's always an interplay between romantic movies and infidelity. Even when I was very young, when I watched these Nigerian movies, American movies, where you see a lady already on the altar with a particular man, and then it says, will you accept him to be this thing? And if she lives there and say, no, I cannot, and she leaves the man on the aisle and start running to another one. What? I'm like, yes, we're all happy the movie ended because she married the other person. But I'm like, what of the mental states
of the other one?
Of the other person? I know sometimes the other person might be a wicked man. That is okay. But one thing, it should not reach that level.
I mean, you already know.
And sometimes the man that she's living on the aisle, or the man is living on the aisle, is not someone that is a wicked person sometimes. It's just someone that was just a normal person, but she didn't love the person. So this thing, it's always about and that's why I have a very big issue with romantic movies. It's always about leaving this one, choosing this one. Or sometimes having feeling for another person while you are in a relationship. And that's why you have seen a lot of divorce, a lot of cheating. Because the foundational understanding of people's love is the fact that you can be in a marriage, but you still be having feeling for someone that is outside.
But
It's terrible.
Shago, since you mentioned romantic movie right now, is it a bad thing that you are in love with someone else while someone else is with you?
Yes, it is.
It's
a bad thing.
But they have been showing us from childhood.
It's a bad thing.
Love does not cause a thing. And love does not do this.
That's what I'm saying.
All these love.
So that's why the average person that has built their own lifestyle on the movies, you understand, on those kind of movies, when they are in a relationship that's even happy, there's this subconscious belief that they see something better outside. And you see people have happy marriages, happy relationships, not marriages, happy relationships, but they will see the guy that's asking them out, they think that guy is better. Or maybe the one they are with has 90% of what they want, but there's 10% lacking. They will now see one that has 10% outside, thinking that one will have everything. They will not leave this one.
And then they will not start regretting.
Later, start regretting. So it's a terrible this is. So I just believe, as we said on the podcast many times, enjoy the movies. The primary reason for these movies is for entertainment.
Yes.
Movies like this, like Perry movie, educates you.
It's educative.
But for the deeply romantic fantasy-like movies, just enjoy it the way children enjoy cartoon. Don't now think you're Superman.
Your romantic life.
For your romantic life, because it will lead to utter frustration.
But really, romantic movie, let's just hammer on it a little bit. There was a time I saw a movie, I think it's of recent, before we started this movie review, that the guy, very wonderful guy, met this beautiful lady. And on, they were together. But all of a sudden, a guy came from America with good accent, not village accent like mine. Good accent. Hey, what are you doing there? What's the name? And the lady was like, oh, what a guy. The guy lavished her with wealth and every form of thing. So the lady said, I can't be with you because I'm with someone else, but I'm in love with you. I'm also in love with... I will tell you the movie after because I don't want to do a spoiler alert for maybe when we're going to analyze that movie or review the movie. And at the end, they were at the altar. And the lady was crying while the guy was saying, I will surrender my life, my purpose, everything for you, everything. And the lady, and when they turned to the lady, they said, no, I'm in love with someone else. And everybody in the house, sorry to the opposite gender, the women, they're, wow!
You should look at me and say sorry.
Sorry, Amaka. I was like, everybody shouted, wow, this is real love. This is real love. And I was sitting down like, the other guy that have been so good that left everything, did all. Yeah. There was a time the guy was poor. In the rain, the girl was treated right. You know, all these being there. And all of a sudden, somebody came from America that showed better love than the guy. And that was the end. This
is one of the reasons why they say women do forget. Because why would you forget the sacrifices that somebody else has made for you because of one person that just came? I'm very sure that lady does not even know the source of income of that other man.
No, they don't show it.
It's obvious that she did not know it.
But the man was from America, or maybe the United Kingdom.
What if he's a drug dealer?
But at the end, she was happy.
She now married him. Without considering the mental health of the other person.
I know. When you were saying this, I remember there was a movie we used to watch when we were very young then. People that are in our generation will know the movie. A Mexican movie. Okay. I don't want to mention the name.
Okay.
Why do I think I know the movie?
Paloma and Diego. Even when I was young, maybe I don't know the way my own mind works, but I think the major thing, the way my mind works is if I see everybody supporting a thing, I automatically disagree.
Why?
I don't believe in hype. If people say this thing is good, I will watch it and try to criticize. But one thing I just noticed in that Paloma and Diego was they were always fighting and coming back. Always fighting. And
was it fight?
This is drama. And that's why I say a lot of marriages or relationships are filled with drama because the kind of love where we are purported to people based on those kind of movies was you need to fight and
True love must fight.
True love will fight and recover. So sometimes you see people say it's not exciting, we're not fighting.
Yeah,
Everything
is just.
The reality is genuine relationships are always boring.
Yeah, remind me of this football player, Kaka. Kaka wife divorced her husband because he said he's too boring, he's too nice.
They want so. I believe some people
be
want
nice to me. I like too nice.
There are some people.
I don't like
that
drama.
the way they have been built, raised up based on the movies they watch and everything, their central nervous system is wired for peace.
Yes.
Why there are some people that they need to suffer
Ah.
because they believe. See that kind of person now. They believe that if I'm not. That is not love. That's what we call limerence.
Yes,
that's an obsession. That's like you are just obsessed with that feeling of that dopamine feeling of fighting, anxiety, everything. You like that chemical reaction. Your nervous system is filled with chaos.
There was one lady
You need to stop it.
when she got married with a certain guy, she said the first day of their marriage was all full of love and everything, and she was tired. She said there was one day that she had to plan a fight in the house. Like the man said, I need this. And she always do whatever the man said she should do. This is what I want to eat tonight. So babe, that night he said she willfully did not do anything. It was at the entrance of the gate on in. I said, when you are coming, get a takeaway. At the entrance, you have to get the takeaway, something like that. I did not cook anything. And the man, being a peaceful man, did what? Went out, drove back to a nearby restaurant, get this thing, get everything the wife loved. And second, the wife just threw the food away and say, let us fight. We have to fight.
And it's true. But the major thing, I think we're helping people's relationship right now. Guys, ladies, we're helping a relationship right now. The foundation of this thing was the kind of movies they were watching.
Yes.
That was what has brought up their minds. They need to fight.
They need to fight.
They need to fight. And I will say this again. LD relationships are boring.
Yes, so.
LD relationships are monotonous. There's no drama.
But if you have a L2 relationship, you can spice it up by some little bit of activity here and there.
Yeah, that's LD. That's LD activity.
I'm not gonna say it. I did not say anything.
You just need to spice it up at least from time to time. There's this couple I actually watch on. I watch their content, and the way they always, I'm like, wow, this is.
Don't tell me it's another fantasy for you.
No, it's not a fantasy. It's just normal way of spicing a relationship like healthily.
Yeah. You just have to, like, there's one comedy show we do see that the lady is always fighting with the man. You remember that guy? That he said, I'm leaving, and say, okay, you can leave. Like, the guy was just too peaceful.
Honestly, and I think that's a major quality for anybody you want to enter a relationship with. What is their capacity for peace? How can they make a place peaceful?
Yeah.
But some people, as I said, I've always been saying it. I said on the podcast when we were still doing Spotify edition that please, try as much as possible before you get married. See a therapist. See a therapist, see a counselor. Let them work on the mindset of certain people. Because some people, their mindset is like, we have to just fight.
Fight 24/7.
And then we will now make up.
Now,
that's their life.
So that we'll not
beat
it too much. So let's go to infidelity. Shego, can any marriage recover from infidelity?
It's possible.
Let me give you a scenario so that people. I'm giving this scenario for. I know someone is out there. I've been passing through something like that, and this movie, there's every bit of infidelity.
Yeah, definitely.
But from both angles. And from both the man and the woman. Can that marriage be said to like two? Not even once, not even twice, 3-4 times.
If I was able to speak based on my own perspective now is that infidelity is betrayal. And betrayal is the highest level of disrespect. And for me, I don't tolerate disrespect.
Yeah, man.
I don't tolerate betrayal.
Okay.
I forgive betrayal. But that relationship will never exist again.
Yeah.
And I will forgive betrayal at my own pace. But the moment I say you betray me, I will discard you.
This cat. Amaka, please give me something good, I beg. I don't know what he's saying.
He said earlier.
Don't ever say he said.
No,
Amaka, not disappointing.
for a marriage to they can actually be a settlement after betrayal, but it's going to take a whole lot of work from both parties.
A whole lot of work.
Like even the work self, it can make you even get tired because you need to put in that extra effort, that extra consciousness.
And there will be issues of trust.
And there will still be issues of trust from whichever party that betrayed the other. There will still be issue of trust. So for you to now like make the marriage work or make it look as it was, there's going to be too much work to put in. And sometimes it's really, for some relationship, it's really not even worth the stress.
Yeah, it doesn't worth it really.
You see, we are not back to what I'm said. Sometimes when you
better not to betray.
It's better not to betray.
Infidelity.
Was reminded of something right now. There's a popular book by Dante Inferno, where Dante said he was trying to analyze the hierarchy of hell. And he says the devil is at the bottom. He said after the devil, the next set of people are those who betray.
The betrayers.
Wow.
It's terrible. For me, don't betray. Don't just betray.
Don't just...
Because, and if you forget someone that betrays you, because you are free to do what you want to do. But what may I just believe my own way? I might be wrong. What I believe is you're just elongating your suffering. You are postponing your suffering.
But a lot of people, there's repentance that...
No, they're genuine. I understand
just
that.
say, oh, I did this before. I've seen certain set of people say, my husband was very bad before, but right now, he's just too perfect for me.
No, me, I understand that. There's genuine repentance. But for me, you repent elsewhere. You can't repent with me. I won't waste my time. I'm happy for you. And even me discarding you is a sign of helping you to repent. I'll discard you. Yeah.
Oh, no. Just tell me not to betray you.
No. Honestly.
Okay, but there's another...
to discard you.
There's another narrative that is going out there that when a man cheats, is a normal thing. And when a woman do that, is a terrible thing. Do you believe in that philosophy, Amaka?
We are both humans. A man, a woman, we are both humans. And I believe the same stroke you give to this person should also be the same stroke you give to this person for the same thing. Cheating is not actually a good thing. And it's not even advised that you cheat. But if there's the society today, they'll tell you a man is different. If a man cheats, he doesn't cheat with his whole body. He cheats with half of himself. If a woman cheats, she cheats with all her mind, all her soul, and all her feelings. But cheating is actually pre-planned. In fact, before you even carry out the action, that's happened in your mind with that person.
Yeah.
So the step you even take to cheat is it's not something you can now come and tell me that I did not mean to, because you pre-planned it. It happened in your mind. If you are booking a hotel, you booked the room. It did not click to you that this thing I'm doing is bad. How will my partner feel about it?
Konji is a bastard.
How my partner feel about it? You booked the hotel, you did everything, and then you're now coming. I know now. It's supposed to be the same punishment for the both parties.
It's just selfishness. Just selfishness. Not thinking about the other person. Being selfish. Being, what do you call it? Being self-centered.
Yes.
Yeah, be self-centered. And willing to push.
Jeopardize
everything,
something beautiful.
Jeopardize is the right word. Let everything go
to...
Let everything just go to hell so far I get my pleasure. And those kind of people, you also have to let them go to wherever they want to go to. You don't need to... people watch it. It's left to you if you want to forgive.
Even the Bible itself, it's also a standard for divorce. Cheating.
Yeah.
If your partner cheats on you, you can let the person go.
Pastor
but
Maka.
the clause there is you don't remarry.
Pastor.
I feel just discard those kind of people. And I think the statement about guys cheating, I think, we've said many times, we've talked about the alpha male and the feminist movement. The alpha males are people that don't have self-awareness.
They are coming for you.
They should come for me. I don't care. I even want them to come for me also, because maybe that's when I can review their stupidity. I think it's rubbish.
He's angry.
I think it's rubbish.
Calm down.
All those men cheat is the only thing I know, which science has proven. behavioral psychologists and the likes have done work on is that men have no standards when it comes, or low standards when it comes to sex or pleasurable friction in terms of, and that is also a thing that is very, very bad when it comes to men, is that men can sleep with just anybody. Most men, exactly. Most men. In a sense of, that's why I used to say something funny enough. I tell you some women, it's not as if they really like you. If they cut off your head, they will still do. And that body is still there, they will still do.
And the body is just
it's not really about you. So that's why when you see, guys are asking me out. Sometimes, chasing is of two different ways. When you see a lion chasing an antelope, it's not really that the lion likes the antelope.
It's devourer.
So, but you have to be able to differentiate between chasing. There are some chasing that there are chasing that is based on I like you. That's why I'm chasing you. There are some chasing that they want to devour you. So you have to differentiate. And I think a lot of ladies don't know how to differentiate it. They classify chasing. Am I right? They classify chasing altogether. Right. Sometimes you are being chased not because you are precious. It's because you carry some things that are
because the devourer have seen you. And
it's the other way around. Some ladies chase men and the guys feel I'm special. Bro, you know special. I'm money when you get. So that's it. So but for men, really, I think I've always said this, men, we need to up our standards. A lot of the ladies, no, not a lot, let them not come for me. Some of the ladies you get involved with, really on a normal day, minus conji.
Yeah, which is a bastard.
There's nothing spectacular about these ladies. About some of these ladies people.
It's so funny that I saw that this man that have about 6 wives, all of them are beautiful. Yeah. Then what is this man looking for?
He's looking for the new one, the new intern.
I think there's a saying that says men love shiny things, new things.
No, definitely. That's why they call it. It has to do with peacock. And I think it's a very good example as you mentioned that, because when you look at the peacock, the beauty of the peacock among the peacock family is a sign of strength.
Yes,
but that same beauty when it comes to relating with other animals. It's a sign of threat, or in the sense of among their place, I'm the more beautiful, I'm the peacock.
Beauty.
But that beauty that is a strength when the prey is looking for who to hit, is that same beautiful peacock that will attract them. So I think it's the same way.
It's actually very, very deep.
It's very, very deep. So that's why most beautiful ladies, they have the experience.
Tend to fall prey
of the very, very bad.
But I've seen a lot of scene in movies. Since we are discussing movie, it's not part of this movie, that bad ladies, wicked ladies end up with fantastic men in movie. Is that really the case realist in our real world right now, Amaka? I know some ladies, bad ladies, good ladies have Lamborghini. Some ladies now, I know some ladies now, they were during this period of Lamborghini saga. This lady was saying, and I went to his house, and whatever happened, and this lady have a man.
Yeah. So
she has the man, and that man they hear the nonsense.
Yeah.
And the man will still stay.
Yeah.
Because we did not hear that this man left.
Yeah. Maybe it's even when I bought the Lamborghini after the whole issue.
Oh, Jesus is Lord.
It's possible.
Yeah. So do you think that this concept of infidelity have started from the type of movie that we have been seeing on and on?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Like, aside that, I think infidelity can also be traced way back.
Way back to what, Amaka?
It can be. I feel like it can actually be traced way back, because aside the movies we watch, there's also a
societal
effect,
or family effect.
A family effect also,
wow.
whereby there's a man marries more than one wife and all that. That's also polygamy is actually also part of it, where they will now tell you that one woman cannot actually satisfy a man. So
all
those
lies,
context and all that. And there's actually a word I wanted to say, but I forgot if I remember.
Don't worry. We'll give you time to remember. I'll remind you. So, Shegun, now in the case of infidelity right now, do you think that sometimes it may be the problem of the partner not satisfying the other partner?
Yeah.
Now, because I've seen a lot of, especially in the religious religious people angle, people that are religious, they tend to say every time about my wife or about my husband is no, he's always fasting or he's always doing this, he's always doing that. Do you think that can also result to infidelity in marriage?
Yeah. I think
but what happened to control, Shegun?
No. I think I have said this before. Even the Bible, which is the foremost relationship book in the world,
okay,
said is that let the wife of a youth satisfy you. I'm paraphrasing now.
Yeah.
Bible verses, even in Proverbs, I think Proverbs, Song of Solomon, that talks about let your wife satisfy. So the reality of it is, I've always said this, that cheating is in two ways.
Okay.
There is +1 and there is -1.
-1. You see now?
There is what we call extramarital affairs. There's another one we call, what's the opposite of extra?
Premarital.
No. If there's any word that's like the opposite of extra,
extra.
So there's extramarital affairs and there is -1 marital affairs. So in the sense of one way you can cheat in marriage is when you introduce a new person into the fold.
Yes, adding
by sleeping with somebody that is not the husband or the wife. That's one way of extramarital. That's the common way. But people don't understand that when you don't sleep with your husband, you're also cheating.
Or your wife too.
Or your wife. You're also cheating. In the sense of the desires that should have been fulfilled or should have been satisfied based on sleeping with your husband, they are not going away. You are still satisfying it one way or the other. So, for example, scientists have also they've also found out now that the desire or the love hormone that is generated when a woman or a man sleeps with his wife, for the woman aspect, can be derived when they are breastfeeding their children.
Yeah.
And that's why you say that most marriages are complaining now that once they don't born first speaking like this,
that's the end.
She abandoned it. So she's satisfying that hormone. So now, we're now in situations where a lot of women are cheating on their husband, but they're not cheating on the husband with another person outside. They are cheating on their husband with their children. The children now are the side chick.
Side children.
So it's deep. So what the major point now is that there are different forms of cheating. The one we've just mentioned now.
And there's the one that you just see. Emotional.
That's whenever you are what the definition of cheating is whenever you are satisfied, getting satisfaction in any way, be it emotional, financial, what do you call it? Material,
physically.
Whenever you're getting satisfaction from someone that is not your spouse, that is called cheating. And it doesn't matter if that person that is satisfying you is your child, is still referred to as what?
Cheating.
Is still referred to as cheating.
Okay. All right, Amaka, what do you think?
Cheating. What do I say? We know cheating is bad. And as he has said, now there's a new discovery. I actually did not know about this thing he just said. So this is also a learning platform for me. When he said you can actually be cheating outside or cheating inside.
I don't even know. Is that really?
Outside
and inside.
Yes, even inside.
Okay, so it can be that if I'm playing rough with my son, maybe I have a son right now, and if I'm playing rough with him, checking up,
and getting satisfaction from it, and neglecting your wife,
neglecting my own wife.
Cheating.
Oh, so if I'm paying too much of attention
to your
towards
child,
someone else
that is not your spouse,
than my wife, if I'm married,
you can do that. A person can do that in the sense of you can pay attention to people, maybe your child, but once that attention is deriving or is what do you call it now? Is depriving now your spouse from their own fulfillment. You are cheating.
Amaka, you're saying something.
But I still feel like we just need to do better in marriage. Especially the ladies, whereby I think we said the previous episode where because somebody is not doing so thing for you, you are now closing the
now it's cheating.
You're now closing the entrance. Or how else am I going to put this?
The door to paradise.
He said so, not me.
Door to paradise.
We should just do better. We should do better. Because most times our actions, they say, actually push people to take reactions.
But what about this saying that a lot of people are saying out there that will tell you men are biological polygamous.
I think those things, I've said it, those things are lies. Now, the balance to that stuff is there is a tendency for a man to be polygamous.
Mm-hmm. And a woman too.
And a woman to be polygamous. That's a basic human tendency. Maybe much more in men
than
women. There's that tendency. The same way there's a tendency in every human being to steal what is not theirs.
Yeah.
But you don't say, it's my tendency to steal. I can't do this.
I have to just steal.
It doesn't make sense. There's a point of making certain decisions or having self-control.
Yes, exactly. Yeah?
Do you think if as I'm somewhere, I'm hungry, I'm seeing some person eating, it's my basic tendency to beat the person up and hit the food. But you don't see me doing that. Or you say, when I'm polygamous. So it's just a lot of these alpha males, as I said, there's lack of self-awareness and they are trying to play sleight of hands in the sense of manipulative. This manipulation, trying to justify what you know is not good. Even most of them, I had a discussion with an alpha male some months ago when I was talking to him, and I said, bro, even you yourself, you know, after you have satisfied that urge with that particular lady, that strange lady, when you sit down, you will not say,
I mess up.
You know, there are a lot of things that I want to do. Everybody, every human beings, our minds are very dark.
Yes, now.
A lot of thoughts that come to our minds every day, but we are not acting on everything. So why are you saying when you say lady, you are polygamous? Man, you are deceiving yourself, bro.
Really. Amaka, what do you think about this statement? Men are polygamous in nature. I know at one point someone has told you that too.
That's actually what the society has made us believe, that men are actually polygamous. But it still boils down to self-control. It still boils down to self-control. How you control yourself. Because the way they are saying men are polygamous in nature, women too, they're also polygamous in nature.
No. Well, now.
Yes, now, because, a man is not marrying himself.
Okay.
A polygamous man. You know the funny thing, let me just quickly say this, sorry. The funny thing about these alpha males is they are the same people that want novelty and at the same time they want
varieties.
So what they will tell you is that men are polygamous in nature. I can sleep around. Now my nature, I cannot sleep around. But it's the same people that want to marry virgins. So don't you know that the more you keep sleeping around, the lesser the virgins are available. So it's like, it doesn't make sense. And they will not say, these ladies outside there, they're not even holy. Oh, bro, do you know how many ladies you have slept with? You yourself, do you know how many ladies you have slept with?
Certain guy was saying he slept to about 120 ladies in a year.
120 ladies.
Yeah, that's it. So the exploration, the effect. Shegun, what do you think about all this?
Yeah, so imagine you sleep with 120 ladies. Let's assume that a percentage, let's say 20 of them were virgins. You know, so that means from the total number of virgins that were available, 20 have been reduced. And that kind of person now will not come to a point where they want to get married.
I don't think you want to marry a virgin.
Yeah, but they are very, very funny, those kind of guys. They now say they want to, after that, those escapades. So I think the major point is that there are things that are our nature in terms of as being human beings in our fallen state, Abby.
Yeah.
But you don't act on every desire. You understand? You don't act on every desire. Not everything that comes to you, you do. So there needs to be a point of self-control.
Now let's talk about politics real quick. In this episode, this will be the first episode that we will be talking about politics in movie review. And I think we are going to break down politics to the lowest. So every woman, every ladies or guys that don't understand politics, we have this understanding of politics. Shegun, the narrative of using political issue for gain is getting too much nowadays. So in this movie, we notice that there's this color movement they took for granted, and they end up getting about $15 million on this thing. Let me just start with Amaka first. What's your take on politics, whereby politicians use this deceptive motivation to narrow down or to win an election? What's your take on that?
Because they know it's going to work every time. That's why they keep doing that. If you have done the same thing and you realize that it's not giving you the same results, you will change.
Yes, exactly.
But because you know that if I do this, and again, they've brought this in Nigeria, the politics in Nigeria, we have tribalism, we have religion. So they've used this as a tool for their own gain, in the sense that they know we are not united.
Right. Exactly.
They know we are not united because for a tribe, you'll be like, this is my tribal person. So even if this person is doing bad, you cannot call out the person. So they know it's going to keep working. They know it's going to keep bringing in same result. That's why they keep doing it.
Well, about this politics,
and let me cut short.
You're free.
And again, in that movie, she knows that if she used the color card, it's going to work. It keeps working every time.
Exactly.
So that's why she did that. If she knew that it's not going to work, she's definitely not going to do that.
Yeah. But that is deceptive and manipulative to the point that there was a nationwide riot.
Yeah.
It's that bad. Yeah. There was a nationwide riot. And the lady was like, oh, you killed one, you did this. I don't want to give you spoiler alert, really. You did this, you did that. And that was terrible. Now, Shegun, I'm not even going there because there's a narrative right now. There's a situation going out right now that allegedly a woman in the Senate, I don't want to mention her name, said the Senate leader had his way, with her. And the problem is that everybody that is coming out on the defense of the senator or the Senate leader.
Was it that he had a way, he wanted to have a way?
I don't know.
Or wanted to have his way?
Or they have been doing it. I don't even know.
Whatever way, there was allegation.
But there was an allegation passing around. And a certain senator came out and said, you know what? This woman has been like this. There was a bill that was passed that was not favoring her. So she have to use the sexual card. And you know that the sexual card in politics, especially when a woman is saying, I've been sexually abused or assaulted, it has a great weight. Shegun, do you think people using all this narrative here and there are actually bad people?
Definitely,
I'm not saying the woman. We don't know about that, but I'm not saying.
We're talking about the movies. Not talking about. So definitely, they are bad people. But as what Amaka said earlier, human beings are by nature divisive. In the sense of Nigeria, as we said, we are divided based on tribe. We are divided based on religion. Abi?
Yes,
and even within the tribe, if you look at the Yorubas now, within Yorubas, you will see here division. Oh, these people are not the real Yorubas. These are the real Yorubas. Even in religion, in Christianity, there's still division.
We are the better Christians.
So, and even in a particular church, there are still division. So we are by nature divisive. And one thing about it is that there is a popular man, now it's late, popular and political philosopher called Saul Alinsky.
Okay.
Now it's late. And there's a popular saying that he did those years when he was still alive, where he said that you don't allow any crisis to go to waste. So, and politics is just basically sleight of hands. So it's not like politicians are like magicians. So what they do is that they allow something to go on the left hand. So while you are focused on the left hand and what is going on, they carry out other activities on the right. So I think that's what people are doing. So for example, when you see big, massive protests, whenever there's a protest, there is someone on the other end of things that's embezzling money. So that's the way it works. So I think in the movie, that's why I like the movie, they also will show us, you understand, what is going on in real life. So,
but the problem is that, so you mean, because there's a narrative out there that every protest have people gaining from it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, there's this popular one.
Every protest, every war.
In America, in Nigeria, we had that these people siphon a lot of money.
Yeah.
But should that be the right way of politics?
It shouldn't be the right way. But as we always say on the podcast, we are not all good people.
Yeah.
We are not innocent people.
Said it too.
Even me, I'm not good. Because Jesus also said it that when they say, oh, good master, I say no one is good except God. So that's the reality. We're not all good people, and people will take advantage. But I think
people always take advantage.
So why we're having this discussion is just so that people can be aware of the gimmicks they play and to guard against it.
Okay, what about this? So how should politics be? What should be the narrative of a good political environment? Let me start with Shegun. To break it down to the least, the bare minimum, some people should understand what politics should look like in Africa, especially in Africa right now. We, like a popular quote, the man said, the leaders we have is the reflection of the type of art the people are.
That's true.
So are we going to say that because we are bad people, we have bad leaders?
Exactly.
So what should be the right politics?
You've already started answering the question in the sense of, I used to tell people that if we are all saints, we can't be all saints and vote an evil person into government.
Yes.
So the reality is we're not all saints. That's why we are having people that are not good in office. And the first and most important personality in the political experience or the political thing is the individual. You yourself, work on yourself, be a good person. Try to be a good person. Try to be an honest person. When we do that based on one, before you know it, we'll change the nation. But the fact is a lot of people are not good. A lot of people are not good. And that's why we keep having bad leaders.
Okay, can we say, Amaka?
Before we see the society in the political sphere, we start with the family. This still is traced back to the family, because in the family we know there are manipulation tactics whereby we see favoritism. I'm my father's favorite child, so because I'm my father's favorite child, I can do anything and get away with it. I'm like the Jesus Christ, the mediator between my family, between my father and you. Whatever you want, you have to come through me. When you tell me, I'm going to go and tell my father. And that should not be so.
Okay.
We should actually work better. We should do better in the family. And parents, please stop showing favoritism. Love everyone equally. I know it's very difficult, but try.
Okay. On this politics exactly, can we say politics start from the family?
Politics starts from the individual, and after the individual is the family.
So the type of family we have determine the type of people that are going to be on the top.
Yes, because yes.
But okay, there's this narrative during an election. I don't know, maybe it's like three elections or 4 elections that they said a certain aspirant does not have shoe, he could not eat, and end up becoming bad. Can we say that type of experience should have made him a better person instead of throwing policy around that kill the whole trajectory of the nation? Shegun.
I think those are the worst kind of people, because when you look at throughout history, I've never seen, I know there are people like that. I don't want to start mentioning names, but people that come from, most people, let me just put it this way, most people that end up causing havoc in our world came from poor families. I think the only exception would be likes of Osama bin Laden. No, I think the exception is like people like Osama bin Laden that came from wealthy families and used their family wealth to do evil. But most people, the likes of Hitler wasn't really poor family.
Like Mao Zedong now.
Exactly. Mao
Wasn't
Zedong.
that poor too?
They were poor. They are not that poor, but at least they didn't come from wealthy families. So even a child that coming from a very poor family, most likely is a danger in causing more havoc. So the issue of it doesn't have shoe, that does not really matter. Those things are just political strategies. So it doesn't really matter.
To gain sympathy.
But both of you have not answered this simple question. What should politics be like in the simple basis? What should it be like?
Politics should be that you have the fear of God. Whatever you say, I think the most important quality a politician should have is whatever you say you're going to do it.
Just do them.
Just do it. That's it. Let your yes be yes, your no be no. Simple.
We're not saying you should not embezzle, but at least let us.
They should not embezzle.
No. There's no way that they will not embezzle. They will definitely embezzle, but at least let us also benefit from it. Do what you say you are going to do.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Next one, we talk about greed, because I think that should be the last. In that movie, we saw element of greed. A lot of element of greed. How can someone be that greedy to the point that you don't care if the whole nation is destroyed? Now, what is greed in life? What is making people to be that greedy to the point of killing thousands of people? Now, I look at this from this angle, that assuming these guys, those people that did the whole plot in the movie, did something, they were not poor. They were okay. Why will you now go to the point of doing devilish devices to the point that you don't care what happened, even to the point of almost killing your best friend? Why should greed be the talk of the town everywhere in the world, especially in Black community?
These are two questions in one, but I think first of all, I've always said it, that greed is not, the way people look at greed, I don't like to call it greed. I like to call it self-interest. But you have to understand that this world, the economic system, the political system, marriage, relationship, anything you want to look at, it runs on self-interest. runs on greed. Greed is the energy force that runs this world. But it's just that greed can be channeled wrongly.
Right.
And greed can be channeled in the right way. For example, there's a popular saying that Adam Smith was the one that did it. Adam Smith says, the baker is not baking bread because he likes you.
That's true.
He's baking bread because of his own self-interest. So the people that wake up 4 a.m. in the morning, going to work on the island, do you think they are waking up to you think they are waking up to help the nation? It's for their own self.
Yeah.
But what we do really is that we connect the self-interest of individuals to the public good. So the reason why Elon Musk is doing all that he's doing, the reason why the bigots of the world are doing what they are doing is for their own self-interest, but they have tied it to the service. So that's what we need to incorporate in the sense of our politicians. We know you are greedy. Greed is a natural state of human beings, but channel it into a good thing. Let it benefit us. So I think so. And the black community, that's another discussion.
I'm going to ask the next question about black community. Amaka, your take on greed?
Everybody has an iota of greed in them.
Exactly.
Okay.
Everybody has an iota. It's just the way you contain it. And again, this still boils down to it always starts from little, very small. You do the first one and you get away with it. You increase it. You get away with it. Then it keeps going higher to the extent that it's just overboard already. And as he said, greed is not a bad thing. He said self-interest is not a bad thing.
Don't say that in church.
Channel it in the right direction.
I know the way we have connected greed in the religious environment.
In the church,
No, the way we have connected greed in the religious environment is like a bad thing.
Very
but
bad.
You have to understand that when you look at political economic systems that have existed, especially in the 20th century, when you look at the likes of communism, you look at the likes of Marxism. These were ideologies that came out in an attempt to eradicate greed. That the real way we can eradicate greed is let not be private property. Let it be public, corporate thing. Let us all own everything. Exactly. So you don't have anything. But the reality is that those systems failed because people are not motivated if there's nothing in for them.
So
why are we here?
No, we are here to give service.
We are here to give service, but at the end of everything, what do we want to get?
Service.
I'm not saying that. Definitely there are some activities you carry out that you just did for 100% service. But most of the important activities you carry out in our world today is because of what you will get from it. But the reason why those activities are still okay is because it's not just your own self-interest that is the primary motivation. You still want to serve people. So we have to channel greed in the positive way. Well, you see people telling people that maybe we have someone that's please come for a program. And there's no attachment, no benefit, nothing. People will not show. But when you say the first time people to come, we get also amount of money.
You see thousands coming in already.
That's it.
But we should not be manipulated to.
That's just it's like marketing.
It's like in those days, there was a time, I don't know the advert. I don't know which of the company, but they said they want to give in Nigeria an aeroplane. If they can buy so and get this like aeroplane. So what about better?
And the funny thing is that this thing we are saying, we said it earlier when we started this show, that this is not just in politics. This is in every love, in relationship. The reality is people are getting into relationship.
For what they will get in
it has to be about what we see. If you don't believe that people are getting into relationship because of what they will get, that's being naive.
So I'm naive now.
No, I'm not saying you're naive. I'm just saying people are entering relationship. Yes, they love you.
And they should love me now.
They love you, but they cannot love you just you alone.
So what if I end up not
what I offer value
is not there anymore? The person will leave?
Most people will leave. No, I think that's just the truth.
But find out, before we end this episode, now let's talk about greed in African setting or black community. It's so strange. Apart from all these artists and musicians that have bling bling and everything going on, I see that Africa, the life of flamboyancy is way too much. When you see an African man
You will know.
a rich one or the one that is wealthy. You just know by the amount of the entourage, cars, fleets of cars, and everything, the parade, the leave the road, our guy is coming. And even in black community also, do you think our own greed, our own this thing is systemic? Do you think is a generational issue?
Yeah, I think one of the episodes we talked about money trauma now.
Yes.
And so I think partly it's because of money trauma. You know, when you are the generations we have currently that we're talking about, our parent generation and everything, they are like one of the first generation in the Africa setting to move from poverty to wealth. So they see that trauma.
So can you say the slavery,
Exactly,
transatlantic slave and everything?
Exactly.
But that should have stopped. This is about this.
You know, we are a very oppressive society.
So we have to oppress each other.
We have to oppress each other. That's
We just want to show off. Make our neighbor know that I'm better than my neighbor.
Exactly. You know, there was a study they did, YouTube video that they did some years ago. When they had two women. One was a white woman, the other was a black woman, and they gave them $1,000 to go for shopping.
Yeah.
They wanted to understand the spending habits of different cultures. So they had a case study of a black woman and a white woman. They gave them $1,000. The first one, the white woman entered the store with $1,000. She just went in, looked for an average looking jewelry, maybe $150, $200, and she paid. She collected that change, and she used the $800 to do something else. But when they give a black woman $1,000,
and you have to buy
just
Chanel now.
The most expensive.
No, we have class.
So
that white to not get
the
class.
reality is the white people believe that they are the ones that own the money. The money does not own them.
But should not be a white thing. Should be a human thing.
It's culture. You know, as you said, poverty, slavery has contributed to this.
Amaka, before you answer this question, I want to just add little to it. You know, there's a saying in Africa, especially in Nigeria, they say, even in religious settings, you hear things like, if my Nigeria is good, I don't care about others.
Exactly.
The policy is favoring me. I don't care about other politics, other policies. Do you think that should be the right way? Actually, religion setting nowadays. Do you think that's the right way to reason, to live your life or believe in? What do you think?
No, I don't think that's the right way to live. I feel like we should be selfless in the sense that we should look out for our neighbor. Even the Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself.
People used to skip that part. When you say love your and the glory of God will be with me.
It's the truth now. It's the truth.
But that's just the real point. That's just the real thing. Because in Nigeria now, I think if our leaders are actually doing better, we should have rubbed off on every aspect of the country and every individual. Because if they are doing the right thing, it will rub off. And again, now let's say in a street,
okay,
there's always somebody that is always wanting to show off.
That's now.
Like there's always
the rich ones.
There's always people that want to show off with their building, the type of car they drive, the way they live their life, and it's just rubbing off. And again, this is where rivalry starts from. The neighbor will be looking at the person and be like, you're always showing off. You're always showing off. You see.
My village people will show you. But there's even one an encounter I had growing up that I was in a church and the pastor just came on the pulpit on stage and said, pray that you should be the child of blessing your family.
Very
and we are 5.
Very stupid.
Me and my 4 other siblings. And I was looking at them and saying, you pray. I'm the first of the house, and you want to pray that you should be the blessed child. And look at that. And that moment, I know that there's rivalry already.
You know the what do you call it? The mindset of Africans when it comes to wealth is that wealth is like a zero-sum game. Yeah. In the sense of they don't believe that we can all be wealthy.
Yeah, so
people believe that some people have to be poor. But reality, being poor is relative.
Exactly.
A poor man in the US is not the same as a poor man in the
A homeless man in the US is different from the homeless man in the US.
But I think it's just, and this is one of the things that's contributing to the state we are in right now. When you see people, I used to say something that greed, and we're talking about greed now. Yeah. Greed is not really the issue in this country. Our issue has surpassed greed. Now, the major issue, what we call devouring.
Devouring.
When you see somebody that steals 50 cars, which you want is 50 cars?
And he was
Not only one you feed drive. Oh.
Which you want is 50 cars? So, but that's
Wait.
and it starts from.
There's one analogy I thought you were going to bring. You said it
Okay.
Before we came to the studio.
Okay.
You said something like in Dubai there is this orientation, and in Africa I can't remember.
Okay. So
maybe you can just let the viewers know.
Okay, I think it's something that I developed, but the reality is the mindset of an average person in Dubai is if you sell a particular street to a Dubai person, I say this street you bought it, this is your street. The mindset of a Dubai person is that the wealth should not just be reflected on them alone. It must be reflected in their surroundings. So a Dubai person will make sure that street is the best looking street around. Yeah. So that when people are passing and people will look at that, who get this street?
What's the street?
And Dubai person get on. Wow.
Well, awesome.
They do everything with flamboyance. But a Nigerian man's mindset is
your street care.
My house.
Okay.
The mindset is so far my house is okay. If the many houses beside it are burning, it doesn't concern me. And now you see people pray prayer points that let this government favor me and my family. It's not a good prayer point. It's not a good prayer point because the reality is there are certain levels of wealth we cannot attain in this nation because of the kind of government we have.
Yes.
You understand? If you're a millionaire currently, if this government was working, you could have ended up a billionaire.
Yeah.
If you're a billionaire, if this government was working, you could have ended up being a trillionaire.
Yeah, that's true.
I look at the likes of Elon Musk, very intelligent person, but reality is in this country, we have a lot of intelligent people, more than even Elon Musk in this country, but the governments.
Well, but there's something that came to my mind. Maybe that we are going to conclude with that, and it's just our thoughts. Do you think that this mindset that we have, guys, really, do you think is something that this coming generation or we can solve, can put an end to it? Really, can we just? Is there any way we can put an end to this flamboyant life? I know someone like you that if you have. I know you. I don't know other people. If you have billions of naira, this is how you still be looking. But I don't know myself. I don't know myself because I love flashy things. So what can we do? Like, you want to help someone like me now? What can we do to help someone like me to not to be flamboyant? Really, what can you do?
Yeah, I think it depends on how people. First of all, the home, family.
Okay.
Because. To me, it doesn't make sense. You know, I have to tell you, even if I'm not saying this against people that use very expensive phones, but I don't see the sense in it. This is me. This is me. You can come for me, but this is me. I don't really see the sense in it. That's for me. So I know that, for example, it has to do with upbringing in the sense of what's the big deal. But also it has to do with culture. And you know, there's a popular quote from Confucius that says, Confucius, why do you laugh? From Confucius that says, one way to know the predominant culture in a place is to look at their movies and their music. Yeah, so but when you look at our movies and our music, you just know that.
You just know.
It's over.
You know what
you see blinks, you see
blinks.
A guy having a lot of semi-naked women in the video. You don't know that.
And the women will just be saying,
we are not going far yet. We have a long way.
So guys, finally.
Okay, I don't know.
Maka.
He has actually said everything.
I know, that's why I did not even call you.
He has said
because if people don't sing now, I mean, they do. That only me be African man for you.
Yeah.
No, but if you actually try to live within our means, if we try to live within our means, I think to some extent we'll be able to like cop that. Because you cannot be earning 250k and you're living in a house of 2.5 M.
No, you want to just stay.
Like that's why people keep putting their hands in things they should not be putting their hands in. Because they have to maintain that lifestyle. They have to maintain it. They have to make a statement every single time they're outside. And that's why corruption, criminality in this country, it's not going anywhere yet.
But finally, my thought really, I was working on the island in Ikoyi, to be precise then, and I saw. So we are not opportune to live in Ikoyi, very expensive. So Lekki, quite expensive for us. So we have to go to all these.
Osapa.
Osapa is even
more expensive.
So we have to go to Aja.
Okay.
Aja, all these Etiosa, all these things. And you see people living in, they call it Paku. building.
Yeah, and they have cars outside.
And you will see Benz outside the house.
Very terrible life.
Like, there was, we have to have an apartment. That means 5 of us, we take a duplex. And we have to pay, each of us have to pay maybe 400, 500 every year. But it's one building.
Yeah.
So instead of we paying 3.5 or something like that. But we are living in a very good place and there's no car. But these guys and ladies, Paco building. In fact, they come to our place to come and they collected hose to collect water from us. But you see Benz outside, Venza. And well, the point is that because we have done good things to them, they will also say, up in, let me take you to Ikoyi.
So it's the lifestyle. That's the Africa. Go away.
So your parents thought on this movie, and I know there's a lot to talk about. And we spend about 2 or 3 hours with this, we can't do anything. And you know that there's something you want to add to it. So why should people see this Tyler Perry movie, Amaka?
You have to see this movie because you don't know how dark a person's mind can be. You think you know your partner. You're living in the same house with them.
Damn.
But truly, you don't know the person. There are a lot of evil things that human being can do. A lot of evil.
That reminded me.
And most times, it's always in the night.
Deep comment in the night.
They that do evil.
That reminded me of when you said that. It reminded me of Tosin. This guy was with this lady for a very long time and spent 4 months on a couch. How can you be
trying to show her that I'm repented. This is trying to show repentance.
And the other guy, a policeman, having a Ferrari with. Do you see that wine seller?
Yes, that Ferrari. You'll never see him drive it in the day.
It's in the night.
It's in the night.
Wickedness is in the night.
Yes, in the night. They that do it will do it at night.
The thief will come in the light.
In the night, yeah.
So, all right, Shagun, your final thought.
Hey,
why should people see the movie?
Clearly, it's what we have said. Human beings are not basically good.
Yes.
In fact, there's nobody that is good. You have to understand that for every human being you see, there's a potential for good, there's also a potential for great evil. So you don't have to be naive when you see people. You don't know that this person can do bad, and people will try to betray you in this life. Be like me. Once they show you signs, discard them quick as possible. Discard them. Let me make I talk.
Edit that part.
Make I talk. Discard. Make I talk.
We edit this part.
Discard them. Reality, people, I don't believe people change.
People do change.
But people do change. Maybe something drastic happens in their life. Something spiritual. But when someone shows you that they have the capacity to betray you, discard them. If someone cheats on you, discard them.
Even in marriage,
discard.
Don't be too trusting.
Wait, make I talk. Because the moment you keep forgiving, what you are just doing, you are elongating your suffering. You are elongating your suffering.
The Gen Zs that are watching this, I know you are not supporting him.
Discard.
See, there's always element. I'm a peaceful person. There's element of change. Please, change is a constant thing.
See what that lady did. She could have forgiven them. What did she do at the end? Don't say it because don't spoil the movie. But what did she do? That's a way of discarding. She discarded them to the afterlife. See, the best way to forgive people that have betrayed you or done evil to you, discard them. That's the best way. You discarding them is a sign of mercy.
Maybe not in marriage. But in marriage, you can see
what is not in marriage.
In marriage, you can see work something
else. What is not in marriage?
See,
discard.
That's my opinion. This is my opinion.
Okay.
Work something out. Something can happen. A certain man said he spent 14 years suffering in his marriage.
Oh, God.
So you can also spend that years too.
No, don't try it.
So that it will still happen. Things will change. So please don't follow him.
Be patient, Abi.
Be patient. Be patient. And be wise.
And understanding.
And be understanding.
Someone cheat on you in marriage. How will we even have pleasurable friction with that person?
It will happen at one point. Don't worry.
God forbid. Discard. Discard.
So guys, I don't want you to take that's Chegun's opinion. And I know Amaka want to support Chegun. Amaka, please.
Amaka, do you support forgiving cheaters?
Amaka.
They can change.
Oh,
chop knuckle.
They can't change.
And then you say, come here and come and cry. No worry. I'll be here to pamper you.
So guys, you know what? Where there is always a movie, there is always a review. And our review is not we criticizing people. What we are trying to do is just to let you see that there are some things in life that you can learn in movie. As Shegun always says, you know, watch some movie, watch it just like kids' cartoon. Don't add anything. Any fantasy you see in that movie, throw it away. But there are some things you can learn in movie. And that is why we are here. So guys, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Amaka, on point, thank you so much. And guys, if you want to support us, you know what you do. Subscribe, like, and also share with your family members. If somebody is passing through one or two things and you think this will help the person, please, what do? Send it to the person. And if you want to support us, maybe sponsorship, advert, you want us to advertise your work as we are advertising Salim Adeyeye. He gave us this lovely piece of art. Please just check our description and get our email. We are always available for you 24/7. And if you think that you have a story to tell or you have a movie coming up and you want us to do a quick review of the movie and let people see the movie on cinema, in the cinema or anywhere, please try your possible best to reach out to us on Faith Africa. Email is on our description. Till we meet again, anytime you see us, you know that there's always a movie to review. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So